And hello, friends, and welcome to Live with Cassandra Joan Butler on the New York Psychic Connection page. I'm so happy to be here, and I want to thank Daniel for inviting me. And I'm a very proud person of Western New York and been doing this type of work for many, many decades, many moons. And as a matter of fact, I have to tell you, I hope there's some people in the room so I know that you're with me this evening. I want to do a very special celebration for myself. So tonight we're going to be doing live readings. We're also going to be doing some contests, and we're going to be doing a lot of interaction with you. So please join me in the room. And I'm going to write a little comment here. Make sure that you are with me. And welcome to this event, my friends. So what we're going to be doing is doing some random drawings for readings right here and now, but also throughout the evening, I'm going to be talking just about psychic work and astrology and all sorts of things that you want to talk about as well. So I hope you are able to join me. And there she is, Deb. And how is the audio tonight, Deb? Can you hear me? And I can see your name. How is the audio? I spelled it out. Hello, Deb. So basically, what I'm going to also ask everyone who's in the room tonight is to please share this video. And so that I can reach, oh, great. Thank you, Deb. That's all I needed to know. Now I can just go on forward with a lot of gusto for you. I'm somewhere in the universe, and you are all everywhere as well. And I want to talk about how astrology works that way, because astrology's basic motto as it were, is as above, so below. And I use astrology with my psychic work because it helps to ground me, because I bring in what's happening in the outer room, which of course is the cosmos, and then we talk about the here and now. All of us have a chart. All of us have a birth chart. It's unique to us. It's as though it's a DNA fingerprint matrix, as it were, of who we are. And the world around us is always changing. So when we use the astrology to also enhance our psychic work, it becomes a lot more narrow and a lot more specific. So that's one of the wonderful things I love about doing this type of work. Hello, Ev. Hey, Deb. Hey, Francie. Thanks for joining. So I also thought, because we're hopefully going to have a lot of people here who haven't had an experience of doing a live reading like this, that I'm going to do 12 readings in the next hour. And how I'm going to determine is that I'm going to randomly pick from my cute little box here one of the 12 signs of the zodiac. And whomever is in the room in that moment, within that next minute, will be getting a live reading. I first want to talk a little bit about what I do and how I do it. There are many psychics. Actually, all of us are psychic, right? Sometimes not all of us work our psychic intuition, but since we all have that right side of our brain, we all are capable of tuning in spiritually, not using our five senses, but using our other sensory equipment, as it were, our intuition. And so a working psychic, of course, is ideally trained, naturally good at it, and me, the astrologer, would look at their chart and say, aha, you have an astrological signature for doing psychic work. And when you put all three of those things together, it's really a beautiful, beautiful thing. But please, friends, understand that I know people sometimes are, shall we say, entranced by the idea of psychics. We all can be trained. We all can use them. So to that end, I thought we'd do a little psychic experiment tonight. And how I want to do this, I want to use another tool of my trade, which are the tarot cards. And I know many of you have cards, right? There are angel cards, there are tarot cards, there are zillions of card decks out there. Well, so tonight, we're going to have some fun with this. I'm going to pick a card, and I'm going to take my little card And I'm not going to see what's on this card, mind you. This is not a card trick. The trick is that one of you are going to be able to very specifically describe perhaps the actual card, or at least describe the shape or the colors or the number or something about that card. And the person who comes closest to it at the end of this webcast will have a prize, because we always love prizes. And the prize will be a surprise, but it's going to be an astrological booklet, which is going to be very, very helpful to all involved. So, okay, tell me when I should pick one. All right, I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to pick a card. And I'm going to very carefully, without looking at the card, so I'm not using telepathy to identify what the card is. I'm going to slip it into my envelope. I now have a card. All right, so you guys who are in the room right now, focus on what this is saying to you in this card right now. We're going to keep the card in the sealed envelope, or at least covered envelope, and we're going to place it over here. This is so complex, isn't it? And then whomever can become closest to describing this will win a prize. All right. Hey, Jennifer, Marianne, there she is. Hey, Barbara, Angela, hello, dear. Hello, friends. I'm glad you're watching. And so tonight, like I said, I want to make this fair because everyone loves free and everyone loves readings, but I want to make this really congruent. So every 10 minutes, I'll be picking a sign, and whatever sign I randomly pick, whomever's in the room who has that sign will receive a reading, and you'll be able to get a feel about how I do my work, which is called integrated readings. So I use the tarot, I use the astrology, and psychic mediumship. Like I said, we're all psychic, but it's really important to receive training in psychic and mediumistic work. And I'm very happy to say that some of my wonderful teachers have been at Lilydale, at Fellowships of the Spirit. Friends, we live in Western New York. I mean, I know there are wonderfully psychic places all around the world and spiritual places at that. But in Western New York, we are the birthplace of the religion of spiritualism in the name of Lilydale. So it is such, now that the season is officially over, it is such a benefit to be able to be so close. And I grew up at the doors of Lilydale. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Grandma. And so, growing up, being psychic and playing with the tarot cards was as normal for me as playing pinochle with Nani. Well, I really didn't play pinochle. We used to play, what is that? Oh, not war. We used to play war for pennies, as a little kid. And so we're going to be using psychic mediumship when we do the readings tonight. We're going to be using the tarot cards and astrology. And before we begin, we're going to say a little prayer, and we're going to do a shout out to the God of your understanding. So as we're doing these live readings, we are in a state of spiritual upliftment, protection, and reverence, because working with spirit does, wow, that's really interesting. My light just kind of fell. Did you hear it? Yeah, we have to be reverent whenever we're doing any sort of spiritual or psychic work. So I'm going to light a candle. I'm also going to sing a happy birthday to myself. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Because, my friends, you are helping me celebrate my moon day. I wasn't born on the 3rd of September. However, my moon is the degree of where the sun is right now. So that's a beautiful part about astrology. It's not one-dimensional. We don't just have a sun sign, we have a moon sign. And so my moon is in Virgo at 11 degrees. And if you're not familiar with astrology, every degree has a meaning attached to it. The 11-degree mark is the mark of the woman with the veil snatched away. This goes back to, again, a bit about me, if you don't know where I'm coming from. The veil is a very long tradition. If a child is born with a veil, they tend to have the gift. And I had the veil. And so both my grandmothers were so excited because I had this veil, which is the membrane, again, old wives' tale. But how synchronistic and how ironic that is my degree of my moon sign. So in astrology, we have suns, we have moons, we have Mercuries, and we have Venuses, and they all create this beautiful matrix of understanding. I know some of you are thinking, when are the readings coming? I hear that. I heard that inside my brain. So we are at the 10-minute mark, and I'm going to pull a card randomly, and whomever is in the room with this particular sun sign, we're going to do a little reading for them. Okay, so that's a 9. Yeah, it is 9. So are there any Sagittarians in the room right now? Sagittarians in the room, please. The first Sagittarian I see will have a reading. Sagittarius. Oh, friends, please share. Any Sages in the room? All right. Sagittarius. Question mark. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, by the way, is the sign that comes in approximately around Thanksgiving until the 1st of winter. There are no Sagittarians in the room. All right, so any Sagittarians? Okay, let's see. Make sure this is working. It is. Who said I am? Okay, Tonetta, first one I saw. My dear, you are on our first reading tonight. So Tonetta, am I saying that name correctly? Tonetta Yun. Please, my dear, write out what your birthday is, and we're going to give you a mini read right now. And to do the mini read, I'm going to do my other tool, which is my handy dandy traveling astrological ephemeris. That's a fancy word for an app which gives me your chart. So Tonetta, I need your birthday, my dear. Me. What is your birthday, Tonetta? I wish we could have audio back and forth, but that's coming, right? Maybe when I do some more Zoom stuff. Tonetta, I need your birthday, please. What is your birthday? You can write it out for me. Okay. Oh, I see she's writing. Right. Okay, perfect. Do you know what time you were born? And that's not necessarily completely required for these mini readings. Do you know your time of birth, Tonetta? Okay. We'll just stick with that, my dear. Okay. So, and dear God, please allow me to serve Tonetta for her highest and best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, reading. Tonetta, your question's about a gentleman. And this gentleman that you've been back and forth with since 2015 and 2015, there's been some ups and downs within that relationship. And what's happening right now is that you're trying to come into a balance with regards to finance and with regards to power, like who is going to make the decisions in this relationship. And one of the things that is coming up for you personally, my dear, is in the fall of this year, right around your birthday, actually, a little before, we have the planet of independence and freedom. So this relationship is giving you too much, shall we say, pushback. And I do feel, now this is where I'm going into my feeling tone, my intuitive self. I do feel that you guys are really well suited, but there's just been this on again, off again. And it kind of got erupted this past week as well. We had this full moon, which was not really easy for you in this relationship. And so what that means for you is that you are going to have more freedom and more opportunities, in fact, as we move forward into the next new year, right around your birthday. So you're saying no. Again, I wish I had some instant feedback with you. No relationship, Tonetta, am I saying that properly? Okay. I'm waiting for her to respond. Or I'm just getting this power struggle with the Sagittarian energy, my dear, this past week in particular. Why would I say such a thing? Everyone has full moons once a month. We all had a full moon this past week, and the full moon was in the sign of Pisces and Virgo. And okay, yes, there has been a relationship. All right, so I'm just going to go through that a few more moments until we get to our next reading. With this relationship, I get that there's a lot, you're very well suited, but there may be some pushback recently. And as we get into the fall, you're going to be doing something very different and promoting yourself and having more freedom. And you might not need or want to have that extra sense of control. And you'll really be able, let me think for a moment. So I'm moving into end of 2019. Hold on. Okay. The other thing that's happening with you, my dear Tonetta, is that you're also been extremely vigilant about your finances. And that's just been a recent thing in the past 6 months, and trying to make sure that things are more organized and more, shall we say, scrutinized, and be a little bit more careful with the money. And that's going to bear great results, and we get into the last part of 2019 and some big breakthroughs financially for you in 2020. All right. The astrological reason for that is because we have this big lineup of planets in Capricorn in 2020. Now, this is a general point for all of us. Astrologers look at large cycles and smaller cycles. And in 2020, there's a lineup of Pluto, Saturn, Sun, the Moon. We have an eclipse in 2020 in January that's going to be very awe-inspiring and life-changing for everyone. In fact, myself and some of the most wonderful astrologers around, and psychics and mediums and healers, will be putting together a cruise taking place in January of 2020. There's some details on my website, CassandraJoanButler.com. And I'm so excited to be part of this group. We'll be sailing and doing a lot of healing and transformation on that particular cruise. Okay. All right. Okay, there. Thank you, Tonetta, for the feedback. Again, this is a little awkward because it's not instant communication. I would love it if I could actually hear all your voices as I'm doing this, but we're going to plow right ahead. And like I said, 12 readings in 1 hour. I'm going to pick the next sign, and so let's see who that might be. Okay, any Libras in the room? The first Libra that comes up that I see. Thank you, Debbie. I can't wait for it either. Hello, my dear friend Natalie. Thanks for joining. I'm just going to see the first person that I see who's a Libra. I'm just scrolling down. Again, this is about as random as I can get because I would love to give everybody a reading. However, if you share, and also like my Facebook page, I'm going to be doing another drawing on Wednesday night during my usual one. Okay. Hi, Whitney. I'm sorry, darling. I'm doing Libras right now. And oh, by the way, if you go to my website, you can actually get a kind of a free reading too, because you just have to do is put your birthday into the app and it will give you a little description of your astrology. So please check that out and join my email list too. So I'm always doing things. Miss Missy, are you a Libra, dear? Type fast. Yes. Okay. I need your birthday, Miss Missy. Birthday, please. Birthday. I know it only counts if it's a sun sign. Okay. Cassie, Libra rising. Where Missy? Missy, darling, please give me your birth date. You can just write it out for me so I can read it, please. Okay, 9/24. Wow, have you had a couple of years, Miss Missy? I'm going to give you some dates in just a minute. Why is this going? Oh, I know why it's going so funky. It's going funky because, never mind, it's a technical thing. I want to make sure I have good webcast quality for you because I'm a plugged-in Ethernet person. So hear me out, Miss Missy. Let's go back to 1 year ago, September 24th. Actually, it was your birthday, until the middle of October, Missy. You were going back and forth and stretched to the gills and really trying to Okay. Trying to promote yourself in some ways. Either there's a promotion at work or you are trying to promote yourself with additional education. You are really trying to try something new in your life. And okay, I'm looking for, okay. So in that case, with Miss Missy, with that particular energy of last year, it was extremely stressful. It kind of began really in 2016, around December, and it culminated between September and December of last year. You're being pushed and pulled, and you felt as though everyone around you were a little unusual and probably a little out of control, and that you had to be the big balancer in the room. You see, Libra is the sign associated with balance and beauty and social skills and negotiation skills at that. Now, last year, my dear Missy, it may have been one of those really stressful last part of the years. And right around the holidays of 2017, there was something that was occurring in your life that said to you, I really need to safeguard my life. I have to kind of go within and not, what's the word? Create more boundaries in my personal life. I just have to say no to the people who are negative and the people who are difficult, because you had that crazy period in the fall. So fast forward to right now, and it's almost your birthday, you're in a rebuilding phase in terms of your emotions and in terms of your finance. But really, the positive thing that occurred in later part of 2017, right through February of last year, was that you're saying goodbye to some of this negativity. But you really have a fantastic stamina and great skills. And you're also, my dear, being able to do more and more spiritual studies and spiritual work. Okay, I hope that helped you. Okay. All right, friends. Again, we're going to do 12, and my next sign that we're going to pick is a Leo. So the first Leo I see, who's a Leo? Barbara Ann, are you a Leo? Yes, yes, yes. Leo. Are you a Leo? Are you a Leo? Is Barbara Ann a Leo? I'm just, okay. Oh, Becky Lynn. Okay. Becky Lynn Steen, 8-4. Very good. I'm going to do a little mini read for you. Again, friends, even though I'm not able to do everyone tonight, I'm going to be doing more contests. And please join me on Wednesday nights for my regular Facebook Live. It's at around 9 o'clock from Cassandra Joan Butler. And I'm going to be doing a drawing. Now, to be eligible for that drawing, there's always rules, right? I'm a picky Virgo moon. Please share this webcast right now. And please like my Facebook page. Miss Becky, congratulations, Miss Becky, because you've been through one of those amazing years of transformation. It started last birthday. And let's see if you're commenting on that, Becky, if you can type fast. Okay. Okay. All righty. Where did my Becky go? Okay. You know what? I am getting a revelation, and this revelation is this. We are almost at the middle part of the hour, and I promise this to all of you. So stay tuned, because I'm going to go through every one of the signs and give you a mini read astrologically, quick and to the point, in about 20 minutes, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do all this personal stuff within the time allotted. I mean, I don't mind staying on until, gosh, till pajama time, because I love doing this, but I don't want anyone to be disappointed. So for the Leo who's born on 8-4, your birthday last year was on a lunar eclipse. And I'm going to pull a card here. And that was a time when there were some endings in your life. And there may have been even someone who had passed away between August until, I'll say August of this year, but August of last year until January of this year, of 2018. And the person who had passed away had gone through a great deal of suffering and chronic issues. And okay, not really. Okay, I want the feedback, Becky. Did someone leave your life, Becky, since your last birthday? Because I'm getting someone from Spirit. I'm getting a gentleman that wants to connect with you. And let me just kind of go sew the tune in here with you, my dear. With this particular year, we've had so many different eclipses in the sign of Leo and Aquarius that the Leos have had to get a little bit more bearing in their lives. And ultimately, there's been some shifts around the eclipses of last year, also in January of this past year. And okay, no. That's okay, Becky. I don't have your entire chart with me, but I'm just going to say this to you. Congratulations, because with the Leos, we've had the changes of this past eclipse season. It really began in May of last year, and it's about coming from the heart, and all of us have been affected. One of the things also that is happening this upcoming year is that the eclipses are shifting in the sign of Cancer and Capricorn. So with you, Becky, Francie likes pajama side. I'm still getting someone from Spirit with you, Becky. I wish I could actually have more input with you directly. And this is something of a gentleman who has a great deal of authority and effect with you in your life. And I don't think it was a grandfather. I think it was more an uncle. He's been gone for quite some time, though. Alrighty, so we are going to regroup and get another sign to do a quick read. And so we're at the halfway mark. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shift up a little bit. And we're going to continue this, but I want to make sure that everyone has a read. Okay, here we go. 4. The fourth sign of you guys see that? 4. That would be the Cancer people. Cancers in the room. Cancer sun sign people. Any Cancer sun sign people? Cancers? Where's a Cancer? Hi, Daniel. Thank you for joining. All right. Hi, Katie, 7881. Very good. So as I'm tuning into you, Miss Katie, being the good Cancer that you are, it's interesting. I started saying that the eclipses started moving from Leo into the sign of Cancer this year for the first time in 18 years. So what that means for you, my dear, is that go back to actually middle of July 12th. July 12th, we had a solar eclipse. And now this particular eclipse may have shown you a new direction, Katie, that you want to take, not so much with relationship, but your relationship with yourself, self-improvement. And I get the word self-improvement with you, doing anything that you can do to get more quiet time, more exercise time, better diet, better movement in your life. And with that, my dear, okay, that's for our friend. Okay, alrighty, got home, looks, oh good, thank you, Daniel. I hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend, because this was the last hurrah for summer, and I'll tell you about mine in a moment. But hi, Colleen, another Cancer. I get a total different feel from you, my dear, than from Katie. But this is a generic thing for all the Cancers. You are getting into a new 18-year cycle. And this new 18-year cycle is putting the spotlight on you and really focusing on your own authentic self. In other words, trying to nurture yourself, because Cancers are known to be the nurturers. So I'm going to change things up a bit to make sure that everyone has a chance to receive information from this webcast. So I'm going to make it more interesting for everybody. We're still going to do a couple random reads from my little box, but I'm going to go through all of the signs of the zodiac and intermit this with information you can all use. Because again, again, tools of the trade. We have tarot, we've got intuition, and we have the astrology. Astrology is often something that turns people off because it seems so complex. However, it's very logical, it's very rational, because it basically reflects your birth chart, your matrix, and compares it to all the other times of your life. So in everyone's life, we have what we call the Santa Claus planet activating. That's Jupiter. That means good luck and expansion. And then we all have Saturn somewhere in our charts. And as it moves through the great grid of the solar system, Saturn will give us more hardships and challenges and, yes, limitations. So what I'm going to do for you right now is not so much talk about the bigger planets, but just talk about the mini cycle, which comes to us from the lunations, the moons, the sun and moon dance. We are just over a full moon cycle. How was everyone's week? A show of hands here, please. Was your week stressful? Was it a little bit more unpredictable? And my prediction would be this: if you are a Pisces or Pisces moon, Virgo or Virgo moon, if you are a Sagittarius or Sagittarius moon, or Gemini or Gemini moon, it may have been a little bit more stressful. I remember I was singing happy birthday to me because it's my moon day today. Well, I did have a rather stressful week. We had a full moon, and what's a full moon? It's the sun and the moon. They're opposite to each other, and they're pulling on each other like magnets. Magnets, that is, not magnets. And when the moon and the sun are opposite, it's almost a feeling of tension in the room. So it was falling directly on my planets, and I was just going about my married business, my married day, and I was driving home from my office in Buffalo, and wouldn't you know it, at the stop sign, at the stoplight, minding my own business, mind you, and it turned green, and I started to move an inch forward. And all of a sudden, I heard the crash. Some very agitated man got very agitated with me because I was in his way and the light was green and I wasn't going fast enough, so I was rear-ended. And I have to tell you, that wasn't predicted per se by my chart, not at all. I mean, an astrologer in good faith would never say, oh, stay home, Cassandra, because you might have a rear-ended car accident. I knew it would be a tension-filled week. And that's where the psychic intuition comes in. So astrology gives you the weather. And by the way, I'm fine. My bumper's a little bumped up and my tailbone's a little bumped up, but all's well. Could have been a lot worse. I'm telling you, the guy got so agitated at me. And fortunately, miraculously, there was a nice police officer at the scene and said, young man, you hit her. She wasn't going fast enough. That's not an excuse at the green light. Anyway, God bless him and God bless me. You had some anxiety, Miss Deb, huh? Yeah, the Gemini rising. So again, the most stressful energy for, again, in general, would have been the Virgos and the Pisces, the Geminis, the Sagittarius this past week because of the full moon. Now, the upcoming week, and things shifted today, as a matter of fact, the shift that happened today was in the last quarter cycle. The sun and moon are doing a little bit of a dance. They're making a 90-degree angle in the sky so that the moon tonight is in the sign of Gemini. It's trining lovely Venus right now, which is a really lovely thing. We're feeling probably in good spirits after having hopefully a nice Labor Day holiday. But the moon and the sun are forming a little bit of building aspects. So the week ahead is all about building. It's all about creating what we want to create in terms of blending our emotions with our thoughts and putting our thoughts behind our emotions in such a way. So what I'm going to do in 1 week, approximately a week from now, we have a new moon, and this will be your little forecast for those of you. And don't worry, those of you who watch my my weekly cast on Wednesdays. I just want to make sure everyone has something. Then I'll go back to the more personal, because we still have a lot of names in the box here. Okay, what do I do with my pen? Oh, pen. Okay, well, I'll just have to do this inside my brain. All right, so if you are an Aries, this upcoming week, a week from right now, will be a great time to start something new with your what? Your work and your health. And when I say health, I mean taking the initiative to rebuild your exercise program, your diet program, to do anything you can, Aries, to improve your everyday routine, to create more stamina in your life, or maybe get a new work tool, right? So it's about work and health, initiating that in about a week from now. That's for the Aries or the Aries rising. By the way, friends, if you don't know what your rising sign is, please, I want to direct you to my website, CassandraJoanButler.com. I have a little app that you plug your birth information in, and you are able to receive your own chart in black and white. And it gives you a little description, because sometimes people get lost when I talk about rising signs. All that is what was the sign on the eastern horizon when you were born. Alrighty. If you're a Taurus or Taurus rising, this particular energy is invoking everything and anything you would say that was beautiful, cheerful, creative, and fun. It's the month ahead for the Tauruses. I know you're listening, Miss Deb, to have fun, romance, and creativity. It's a grounding what gives you pleasure and what gives you joy in your life. That is the theme for the Tauruses. And it says some other, oh, my, yes, thank you for sharing. Anyone can share. Please, please, please. Okay. Oh, there is the push. Hello, Mark. So Taurus is in the room. Look out. It's time for you to have lots of fun. If you are a Gemini or Gemini rising, this upcoming week's energy is going to help you consolidate what needs to be done in terms of your home life, in terms of creating a more active, spiritual, balanced, and enjoyable home. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you're a Cancer or a Cancer rising, this particular energy ahead is going to really help with your communications. It's going to really help you become a lot more connected with your brothers and sisters as well, and market and do whatever it takes to create more harmony in your communication, not just with other people, but within yourself. Sometimes the words we use is towards ourselves can be overly critical. And so your Cancer people, we want to keep that in mind. Alrighty, so let's pick another sign, and we'll do another little mini read here for the first one that pops up with that particular energy. Okay. Alexa. Okay, 1. Any Aries? Any Aries people? Okay. Who's an Aries in the room? There's Charlene. Hi, Charlene. Hey, Deb. Thanks for staying with me. Okay. Hi, Carrie Lee. Hello. I am looking for an Aries in the room. I'll do a mini. Oh, there you go, Deanna. That's for you. I picked Aries. I picked the number 1 sign. Let me just give you a little bit of a read for you, my dear. So, Miss Deanna, so nice that you're in the room tonight. And I will absolutely will start doing those webinars. I know you've been asking for them. And a lot of people have. It's so much easier sometimes to learn astrology and other things in the comfort of your own home. So with you, Deanna, as I tune into you, I'm picking the card of work upside down. So Deanna, the thing that I want to suggest to you is that things have been on hold for you this summer with your work, and you have some wonderful ideas, and you've been distracted. You've been going ziggy and zaggy all throughout the summer, and you really are very geared up to launch something. And what a fantastic time for you to consider doing the launch. Now how this works, Tricia, I'm also going to just compare your energy with, oh, you too, Deb, you're an Aries as well. Wow, a lot of Aries. Okay. Again, this is not instant feedback here. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. Hello, Maureen. with your energy, Deanna, with this Aries push, it feels that there might be some consideration or negotiation with either a partner, business or otherwise, as we get into the middle of October, and then another little bit of delays. And the delays will take part and take place until the end of November. So don't get discouraged. The summer was extremely stressful in terms of trying to get everything accomplished with launching something within your work. But I think that those would be shifting quite readily. Okay. All right, here's Darlene. Hello, welcome, Darlene, from Niagara Falls. Okay. Again, let's pick another sign here. And this is a Scorpio. Are there any Scorpio sun signs in the room? Any Scorpio sun signs in the room? Any Scorpio sun signs? Okay, any Scorpio sun signs? Hello, Timothy. Hello, Kim. All right, you're Scorpio. Deb is a Scorpio. You're the first one I laid eyes on here. Deb, where did that Deb go? Okay, Deb Morris Rooney. I'm going to talk to you, my dear, being the Scorpio that you are. Again, how I'm doing this, I'm just picking the random sign and just doing a little mini read to the first person that comes in here. So I want to be fair to everybody. That's my Libra rising. It's been an extremely interesting year for you, Deb, and I want to talk about how things shifted last fall for you. Right around your birthday, actually, we had that Santa Claus planet interacting with you. And with the Santa Claus planet, or Jupiter, you were trying new things which were a little bit more outside of your comfort level. But you were doing so with a lot more confidence and charisma. So it's been a good year. But don't worry, the finances will come. This is the card that I'm choosing for you, Deb, that you've been working almost relentlessly with some new projects, and you're asking yourself, is this worth it? Is it going to garner me additional financial reward? And the answer, my friend, is yes. We've got an extremely good aspect for the Scorpios financially beginning in November. And the other thing I want to say to you is that you're finally on the wheel of what you're trying to do. You're finally on your path of what you're trying to do. And it's been a little frightening because it was a slow start, so to speak. Okay, now how should I do this? Time is a ticking. There's so much more I want to share with you. Let's do some more readings for everybody. So we've gone through Aries, we've gone through Taurus, we've gone through Gemini and Cancer. And let's talk about the Leos. For Leos in the next month, the keynote is going to be on your spirituality. I know I've talked to a couple of Leos earlier in the webcast, and we're talking about the eclipses this past year in the sign of Leo. A banner year for the Leos. Changes and drama and people leaving their lives. And in the upcoming month, it's time for them to kind of buckle in, hunker down inside their own hearts, and to take some time for meditation and prayer and retreat. Because the Leo, after all, is a very gregarious, outgoing sign, but once a year, it's time to kind of go within. So let's talk now about the Virgos. Virgos, the spotlight's on you with this new moon, and with this new moon, you're going to be able to shine and really advance yourself in so many different ways. Virgo is a very interesting sign. It's often known for being humble, but it's very much a working aspect. They're very hard on themselves, but in any organization where you find Virgo, you find the people who get the job done. And with your new moon coming up in Virgo, we are in the Virgo time of the year, you want to celebrate your diligence, your dedication, your devotion to service, because Virgo is a beautiful sign. Sometimes they sell themselves too short. So the focus is on Virgo, the focus is on self-improvement and spending also time by yourselves so you can recoup. With Virgo, they do not like too much noise and commotion. They almost need to have more time to sit back and think and reflect. Thank you for the hearts, my dear. Hello, Billy. Hello, Sandra. And yeah, I think this is probably the best way to go with our remaining time. Just going to go through the signs and give you a little tidbit for everything. And I'll reverse them as we go through. And don't forget, everyone's going to have a chance. Let's do this right now. We have some newcomers in the room. Friends, I picked a tarot card earlier, right? So I put the card in. I have no idea what's the card. I have no idea what the card is. But those of you who are familiar with the Rider deck, they're very colorful. They're filled with symbolism. They have numbers attached to them. So some of you are psychic. No. I take that back. All of you are. So just kind of close your eyes, take a breath, relax. I don't know what card it is. Focus on this envelope and try to figure out the colors or the meaning of the card. And I'm going to ask everyone in about 5 minutes to scroll down what they think the card is. This is really fun. It's a very fun experiment. You'll be amazed at how well you do. I've done this many times. I've done a lot of spiritual development work over the 30 years I've been doing my work. I've been helping people unlock their own gifts because we are all gifted. So we stopped at Virgo. Let's go on to Libra. So Libra people, in the next week, in the next month, the energy is shining beautifully in your house of psychic intuition. So you might be wanting to spend a little bit more time evaluating your dreams and evaluating what really means the most to you in terms of your self-care, how you're feeding your soul. Are you able to get away from the hubbub of everyday life? Libra is a beautiful social sign, but sometimes they have to disconnect and retreat. So if you're a Libra or a Libra rising, use this time to kind of bolster up your soul in the next month and just spend some time alone. Speaking of retreat, I just want to throw this out to you. Many of you are coming already to my retreat 2018. But remember, I talked about the sun and the moon. We all have a sun and a moon, which is the sign of consciousness and unconsciousness. Well, at the very end of September, I'm going to be hosting a weekend-long retreat. It's called the Sun Moon Retreat. Again, details are on my website, and I would invite any of you who are interested in learning how to develop their psychic intuition, how to learn reflexology, how to activate their dream world, and how to basically take care of themselves and have a heck of a good time. It's all inclusive. It's on my website, Cassandra Joan Butler. Alrighty, so we're going to go right through all the other signs, as it were. And we're talking about, last we left off was Libra. Let's talk about Scorpio. Scorpio, for the next month, pay attention to your friends. Pay attention to your friends. Pay attention to the way that you are connecting with them. Pay attention to the way that you're hobnobbing and joining associations, and build your social structure, whether that means contacts with business associations or catching up with people you haven't seen for a while. We all need to be a part of a group. So this is the group time for the Scorpios. All right. Sagittarius, this next upcoming month or so, it's all about anything having to do with your career and with your building a template for your leadership abilities. You may notice that you'll be thrown into the spotlight of the career and having to take over maybe additional work that you weren't really happy about. But Sagittarius, you're more than willing to take on the load if you sprinkle a little humor with that, because Sagittarius is one of the funniest signs of all. But the next month or so, you're going to be having to do a little bit more work, a little bit more heavy lifting in terms of leadership in your career. Capricorn. Okay, great. I'm glad you're all starting to do the sun. Okay, and as we're doing this, we have 10 more minutes. As you're getting ideas, my friends, in the sealed envelope, tell me what you think the card is. Tell me what you think the card is, and whoever comes the closest in terms of shapes, sizes, numbers, colors, or maybe guessing the exact card. Trust yourself and start, documenting what you think it is. And I'll scroll down in a couple of minutes. All right, so where are we? We just say, Capricorn. We love the Capricorns. Oh, you poor Capricorns, you've gone through so much transformation and so much growth and so much accomplishment and achievement in the past 10 years. It was in 2008 that Pluto, the great transformer, I think Deanna asked me about that earlier, the planet of change and upheaval, the volcanic energy started erupting in your sign, Capricorn. And quite frankly, you get a break in the next month. It's a great time for the Capricorns to plan a trip, take a class, perhaps teach a class, do anything you can to really take care of your toolbox of expansion ideas. So really, Capricorn, you're off the hook right now in the next month. Do everything you can to have some fun through travel or learning. Next is our Aquarius friends. The next month is very much about transformation. This new moon in Virgo is going to activate within you the need to really enhance your own personal power. And that personal power, my friends, often comes to us by way of what? By sharing your gifts with other people. The 8th house, where this energy is falling, is often called the house of other people's money. So when we empower and gift others with our resources, whether that be financial or time, we're actually helping enhance ourselves. So that's the theme for the Aquarius people. Also, just good old-fashioned money management. You might be making some good financial decisions in the next month or so, you Aquarians. And then last but not least is our lovely Pisces energies. This particular time of the year is about relationship, negotiating with your partner, your existing partners. Partners can be best friends, by the way. Pisces are really on the hot seat for figuring out who are their BFFs, who are their friends they can go through the fire with, and who are not. So there might be a sense of breaking off or breaking away if someone's not feeding your soul or recognizing your own wonderful compassion, Pisces. Alrighty, and especially this past week because we had that full moon in Pisces. Alrighty, so I'm going to give you another, 7 minutes or so, friends. I don't think we have to stop right at the top of the hour, but we'll be stopping close then when we'll be unveiling our card in the envelope, and whoever is the best description will win a prize. And by the way, please go to my website and read about yourself, because I have that beautiful app. And please also sign on for my newsletter. I'm always doing specials. I'm really doing a lot more traveling internationally on behalf of astrology. I'm going to be down in Florida for the Kepler conference at the end of January. I would invite you all to consider that. The beautiful cruise in 2020 in January, when we're all going to be doing a lot of healing work with the changing with the planets. That is coming up again, January of 2020. And then in February, I'm going to India. Wow. So I have a lot of travel ahead. Also, I think I'm going to Florida in November and teaching some astrology with regards to psychic development. So, okay, let's do another kind of personal psychic reading. And we did, that's 9. Wait, I need to pick those. Okay. We haven't done a Gemini yet. So the first Gemini I see. Gemini. You're so welcome, Deb. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Carl. Nice to see you. Carl, are you a Gemini? Vicky, Crystal. Gemini, Crystal Dean and Peggy Naughton. I saw those two Geminis at the same time, so I have to do something for both of you. So both Peggy and Crystal, and it gets a little off the cuff. This is going to be more psychic, more intuitive. I start with the astrology and I go with my other tools, which are the cards and just good old-fashioned psychic intuition. I'll start with you, Miss Peggy, dear. Okay, so the first card is I'm tuning into you. You are in a place of misbalance, Miss Peggy. You are really striving to take those emotions and the intellect and come into a place of balance. been working very diligently, doing a lot of travel, doing a lot of learning and reaching out, reading books, taking classes, and you're at this place where you want to be in a state of spiritual balance, not just mental or physical balance. It feels like there's been some times in the past summer where you have been feeling very much, I'm the only person in the whole world who gets me. But that has thrown you into cultivating your own spirituality and your own connection to the God of your understanding, Peggy. It really feels like that you've been on a very internal spiritual journey, and what you've been experiencing has been alternately sometimes some, not sadness, but the sense of being alone. And as you're moving forward, I have some exciting news to share with you, Peggy, that Jupiter moving into the sign of Sagittarius this upcoming fall until the fall of 2019 is really going to help you connect with a whole new tribe of people and possibly a new mate, possibly a new best friend. It's almost like there's this eruption of people who are on the same level as you. I don't mean that to be elitism or something, but it's the idea is someone who's on the same wavelength of both spiritual and intellectual. So I feel very good with that. Miss Crystal, thank you. You're the other gentleman I'm going to read for right now. I'm going to pick a card for you. Okay. All righty. Crystal, I feel that you're doing a lot of processing of some sadness. And this dates back at least since June of this past year. There's been some, just heavy sorrow regarding a loss. And I think this is more of a loss of an emotional loss as opposed to someone passing away, Crystal. And in that loss has come a sense of liberation. And this is both, actually I get two losses. I get someone who's been in your life a long time as a friend, and someone also who's been, who you thought was a good, close connection within your family. And as we move forward in the next month, please take some time to get rid of memories that are interfering with you to move forward, whether it be clutter, letters, CDs, or something. It's almost like you want to expunge yourself and your environment to help you move on. That's the message I have for you. Okay. Oh, my friends, we're getting at the very end of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll around and see who was giving me a description of this card. And no, actually, we don't have to really worry about finding the person right now. So one last mental mind meld with this envelope, everybody. And even you can still do your descriptions of what you think it is as we end, because it will be, it will be actually in front of us in black and white here. Okay, let's see. So we have, oh, hi Tammy, thanks for joining. We're just doing some fun stuff here. Okay. The Lovers, Queen of Swords. Oh, very nice. Hi Cindy. Swords, Beams of Light. Any more? Lady in the Chair. Lovers, Queen. All right. You know what? If it's okay with Daniel, I'll go a few more minutes longer. I'll go until like 9:05, because the Libra part of me is feeling some disappointment in the room, and I want to go through all the signs. So stay with me, friends. I want to go through all the signs and give you a little bit of a read just for all of you who are just joining this particular webcast. Are we ready? Any last descriptions? Beams of light, cups, hearts. Ta-da. Okay. The stroke. I would have a sip of water here. This is a very momentous moment. Okay. The Sun. Oh, that's a good card. I like that card. Renew, the Moon. All right, let's see. I don't know what the card is, so I can't be telepathic with you. It is The Two of Wands. The Two of Wands, my friends. Did anyone pick the Two of Wands? We got Three of Cups. Okay. Someone was seeing beams of light. The Empress, Seven of Pentacles. Well, you know what? I'll dissect all of these. So I know that the last person here was Vicky. So anyone past Vicky, this is the card. So maybe me and Daniel can ascertain who is the closest to this. All right. So I'm going to just run down all the signs kind of in a democratic fashion for some mini little reads for all the different sun signs, because I know some of you missed some information because you just entered the room. And we'll do it this way. If you are, let's see, I'm just going to do my little notes to myself. And I'm going to do this in terms of not so much the mini cycle of our new moon in our new moon. Let's see, Capricorn, that's going to be 10. Hold on, friends, I'll be right with you. 9, 8, okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is a larger thematic for you. And what do I mean by that? Astrology says there are, special days, special months, and there are special decades, and there are special 2-year cycles that come up for us. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, 11. Okay, got it. There are longer cycles as well. So this is relevant for all of us. And I'm going to go through all 12 signs for you and give you some thematics for the next 2 years of what you'll be working on and rebuilding. And the operative word really is rebuilding, reconsolidating, restructuring, and making a new identity in this area of your lives. If you're an Aries or Aries rising, look to your career. Look to you stepping into your own authority in a new way, in such a way that builds confidence and leadership. You may have started career shifting this year, but you might be interested in knowing that as we go through the next year or so, that you achieve some of those very ambitious aims. If you're a Taurus or Taurus rising, it's all about the learning. It's all about traveling. There might be new educational pursuits. You may have an opportunity to learn something that was outside of your comfort level before. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of my dear friend Deb. But the idea is you'll be very positive in your expansion in a new way. It might take 2 years. This one's for you, Carl, and all the other wonderful Geminis out there. It's about self-transformation, rebuilding your spirituality and your mediumistic skills, because this energy is helping you come to terms with the differences of power and empowerment, and also stepping into your own sense of wonder about the universe and solving the mysteries of intimacy. So that's for our Geminis. If you are Cancer or Cancer rising, oh my gosh, Cancers, it's all about the partner. The next 2 years, you're rebuilding partnerships in such an important way. And don't worry if you're alone, you want to be partnered, Cancer, because the next 2 years, people are coming in that are more suited to you, and you also let go of the people who are not. And I don't necessarily mean just intimate romantic partners. I'm talking about people in general, your best friends. If you're Leo or Leo rising, it's all about your particular relationship to work and self-care. It's all about your relationship with building something for yourself that's going to last, especially building your own physical body. So if there's exercise or diet that you want to work on, Leo, this is the time to do it in the next 2 years. Big cycle now for the Virgos. Virgo is known as the sign of the light And that's not, they're not light. Virgo is the sign of the workaholics, the perfectionistic. But once every 30 years, things lighten up and they start building on what they want to do. So you'll notice, Virgo, that you may all of a sudden be struck with this idea, it's my turn. It's my turn to have fun, and no one's going to stop me from having a blast. So that's the 2-year cycle for the Virgos. For the Libras, you're taking back your home. If you're Libra or Libra rising, you may be wanting to rebuild the home, restructure the home, remodel the home, or perhaps move. If you're a Scorpio or Scorpio rising, the next 2 years is about your communications. Perhaps you've always wanted to write that book or market that message or teach that class. It's about you getting the word out the way you want to communicate. If you're Sagittarius, the next 2-year big cycle is about finance. It's about you rebuilding your economy and your self-worth. And if you have an idea, an invention, you might want to piggyback that into a income stream to increase your finances. And Aquarius, the next 2 years is about taking some time to do your due diligence in what? Spirituality. To reflect, rethink, retreat, pray, meditate, do all those beautiful things, Aquarius. Pisces, you're rebuilding your friendship group. The next 2 years is about you saying to the people that you are learning and loving and living with, are you part of my tribe? Are you not part of my tribe? Rebuilding the friendship circle. All right, my friends, I've been talking your ears off, and I've really, really, really enjoyed speaking with you. So I invite you again to watch my webcast on Wednesday nights at 9 and at Cassandra Joan Butler. I want to thank Daniel Klaus for inviting me to do the webcast tonight. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday weekend, and I really appreciate you being in the room. My frustration was that I could not give everybody a mini read, but I hope you did learn a couple of things and you did get some reads. And learn that you can integrate the astrology with the psychic and the other tools, the tarot and mediumship. That's what I do. I do integrated readings, and I would love to work with you sometime if you haven't already. So God bless, and have a fantastic end of your Labor Day holiday weekend, and hope to see you on Wednesday night around 9 o'clock or any Wednesday night. And hope to see you also here back again at the wonderful New York Psychic Connection. Good night.